Adwoadempo mene mapamfo e wa Ashanti Prime TV. Ebinada bia eni ya wadabia wabra aboyume no num wabra ye di dwumede onwaso bia to di Prime Trend ebrewo wo Prime Trend iso amene mapamfo ye besim konya ye de nsem a wonte da na mfa wani ehu da egunsani ani ni abobo mu ni de no kra no ato ne da sansen pani say di ade ne da no one found to wa eya na free talk afenso wo Prime Trend so no ye be ma wakonya na so do adwenkyere aba eni kasem esanso mu ni say Prime Trend jumediye mu no afa ba bi wo a obesiria eno nti na mse hia me Adwoadempo mene mapamfo e wo Ashanti Prime TV clock it
ya wada oforishi obusumene de toso aduasa e wa fimpimienu ene aduonu ensiemu premo ato e wa Ashanti Prime TV so e ma so sensema yensa kan o man Ghana ene amahodo so ni edika editio semufu aso ne so no akutie e de gukrata so e de ama mene de ba besomo e wosime aduasa entem ensime de ba besomo no e do so ne obetie ebie enie ene Ghana Health Service o monkrabata e wa Ashanti mantemu e de nsembi ato abontene Sanso na mpanyinfo omoda eye National Development eye Planning Commission ano enso akasa ensemwe ne nsema odo pie kana de ba besom e wo simeji asante mi amede Kasiebo so media mejeso ene mes now start mitwam hotel abasesia Adishima mama sanso amwakwa babiemu ediaba Ashanti Prime TV so afeji brain na yempensen eye ensemu bepiemu eye Ghana Health Service omonkrabata e wa Ashanti mantemu ene ekopiemu e wo hono makasa ediato abontene se yehwe eye bibre mama na man ahodo anase ewiase nyina na eyade malaria eyareye atridi yare no na ha adwene yepa ne ekum eye nipa ne so ye ntoto ho eye afie twemu ene afia na cheso man Ghana eyade malaria no akofom pa na obepiemu ewo Ashanti mantemu hase kradia na editwem eyade malaria no akofom esanse awufuo atiase ese malaria yare no etumi ekuma wobo won ho ban ya wobo won mofra enso ho ban to be srese ne atiase yenkoso a emo ye ho ban enfenfri eye etridi yare malaria eho
da bosome etoso enan da etoso aduonu enum se eyeda yede ebe body rule a celebration concerning intridi ana ebunu malaria say ye share 2022 a omo amoba Ashanti region OPD so omo yare ebe share omo no so wo share emu 100 eba OPD say omo yare ye ebe share omo malaria wo hwe 100 a nemu 20 malaria wo share 2023 a wo fa nipa 100 a eba facility e wa Ashanti man mu nyina no wo fa 100 a nemu 19 malaria ntina omo baaye and I had 2025 so a o share omo baaye OPD say omo yare omo beje ayaresa no o fa 100 a nemu 20 malaria na fa mu o fa 10 a nemu mienu malaria ma so omo ko omo fa afuru no ye ma omo ya malaria duro bi a ye frɛ no IPT e bo ma me ne ho ban ebo akra na ho ban
adishima mba ye toa ensem ne so anene empanimfo omoda National Development Planning Commission ano akasa edi ato abontene se e kamia ye se wo man Ghana hasi ankasa na aban bi obebe bia no enya ne ho asem eka na se sadia ade na ye nyina ye ntena se na ye nhwe na ye nhyehyɛ se de ye pese o mampanyini bi bu o man no e de ma ye nto beside an empanimfo hwe na nkonfa samra no emra na adehye wo man no mu ne betumi a kire de omampanyin no enye esanse ye no omampanyin ne koye bibia ye behu ne se enye nti ye ya yesusu ade a ye hwe a eye bebo oman na nanke de ama omampanyin no na yesusu se no beboa ama complaints bebrebe no ano abrasi dan se omampanyin ne ba ono a esusu se ade ye bebo oman no ene obeye ade amaye
de nezi no de ye nhihye ya ozimpuntu baba ya ahoro anan ni nyina wo hwa ye ntuma mfanye adwuma nti ma okanyi de yenka ni nyina mbom na yenye nokor na yenfonhwe mbra ode ye n'enyimi de ye oman na ye be hyase ne yezikan fan de ode ye ko manto doesia ni nyina osende manto bia na wone hiaze nti ye sha ase fiti February na yewie March ye kro bebia na mpaso ye hunde obia na hiaze ye sronko ibinum rebisa kwan ni ibinum rebisa maofa humasua ho ibinum rebisa apomzen ho ibinum rebisa kwaye na maobotum wa aboa ma yetum ya dan ma yenyefi ahaban mu nenwa ama wetum wa aboa ekuafo no nti yehunde mantos desia ni nyina obia wa asema onya ya ncha obokọ da menhihye na yare yenyim ma yaye ye mozikan yenyi ekueku ahuru pi behia iyi yenyi regional coordinating council na district no na yehie na yeze ahemfo ne ka ho yebokọ ministries yebokọ departments yebokọ agencies yebokọ private sector institutions obia ode yete ni bia yebobọ mbozin ya akono ho na yenyina ekezi nkomo na zekro days papa panyi de yehia infrastructure nzama oma citizens won harwan wo na adwuma yem wo won akwantum wo won bibiam na yehun biom nso de yetum ye nhihye nso yewia na yezinhihye na ato bebi na yaye azefofor aba kwando na yebotum na yahwe amaza yahihye no yetum ye sinipi na yeze ono nkoten yeze aye adwuma yehun biom de bebia na wo na hiaze no sonko mosimoti inti yentum nkade ye tenankran na ya ahihye de obia nya damazi na obobo hwan se yete hwan a obema ma wohia no na ya hwe na ye za mo hwan plan de ye beye but ode bibi hye amanyofo de won fanye adwuma nti enyi parliament good reason komo ama se oyembra The
commission is also working on what is known as the Consolidated National Development Plan, which will be highly influenced by the recommendations of the CRC, the Constitution Review Commission. And unlike past plans, this one will be based, the key foundation component of it will be the directive principles of state policy. And we expect that the institutional development that will accompany this plan will also be driven by some of the recommendations of the Constitution Review Commission, such as extensive reforms of state-owned enterprises.
Ene penyini power da mental health authority ano Dr. Eugene K. Dodoye nene wakasa ato abontene se wiase edwane ekonanim. Nenso kamya yese wona ka chide woye akechire sanse enei ade a AI abafunim de aba a eboa amanfo ema won tibia wom anase bia wo no wo kosoro saa bia ye kronum na wo behwem mental health authority for akachia na cheso de ogina na ogina enti se wono nso de nhihye pa egu akwema beboa ama enei no kra no se bi obinim obi adwene mu hawa na se adwene mu yare a enwu hi so betina ka mu kwa tententi ansa na kwakuhu doctor mu nso ebeye abefu nieme ne wo fa ofu a obenya doctor na aha 101 na tena phone so no wadi nkomodo wo hawo nyina atunenu mo so se no no beboa ama obi wo hono mu kra se bi na adwum ka na wo fu ka se wo kona na bebi wo kokura we hu no kwan no akwa na ede hawo abeto agusua no so nti we ya obedan na dinu ebeboa adehie pan.
That's a usi ho kwan say yare nemba anase yewo promotion there's a wo bomodin say omo ahoden krapo no omo benya ahoden ni biaka ho ene yewo cure say nipa na oyare no obesa no yare na afiwe no yaye ne say purple month no anase bosomi enum na yede asi o say ye ka adwom yare ho no afiwe de ye ka say ye tumpon every ye kasano say ye bon de running kwan to action say there's a free affair there ye bibi and ye kasana de bia ye kan he say de ye tu hu ye nante hu every ye kasano say ye bon de running kwan to action say there's a free affair there ye bibi and Yakasana de bia yakan he said ye tu hu yenante ho aye ho adwuma say we're moving from awareness into action. Enti efi kwe yabefa abeso emfidie so benemefa ne technology say beya obibia wote Ghana afana nyina no omubetimi enya quality mental health care. That is yempese obi every baby enam baby a wote wo Ghana enti no wunya doctor ohwe adwom yare so obehwe enti yebe use telepsychiatry, that is telemedicine. And yabefa technology so e dey ahwe enkrofo a omo Ghana aman nyina say ye ade a afiwe no ye bomodin say ye betimi edi hu dwuma na yetimi ama adwom yare akọ
ena no ada yeti ho yen Kevin Shemu ene beto abontene say eye ankrankre awoma ekọ eye Wesley Girls ede eye sukuu yi akopiemu ewasem dibia ne nyina ene se mofra yi eye enkramufo ne nto okosukuu mu ho sukuu no ema ho kwan se wobesom ewo honum na emra asem no ekopiemu ewo eye court no na Wesley Girls mpanimfo sukuu ne mpanimfo enso twere krata ede call eye court Supreme Court say ohwe eye asem yi krampo a eye awofo yi ede abedan eye Supreme Court ya onhuni ti ehunu ne 90 obesere se nka court emosa asem no emfa engunenso enei Supreme Court etna asem no so no wambo enguosi emprempren de wohia eye Wesley Girls School no mpanimfo ewo eye Supreme Court.
It was very obvious that would have been the conclusion to reach. Because if you look at the complaint of the plaintiff and the reliefs the plaintiff is seeking, it borders primarily on the management of the school. And the law is very clear as to which body is responsible for managing pre-tertiary institutions like Wesley Girls. And the case law has been very emphatic on the position of Board of Governors. And I, for sure, was never in doubt that this was going to be the conclusion. The only sad thing is that the infringements we are complaining of still persist. So we would prefer a situation where this matter will be dealt with as per that deadline, and to avoid these frivolous applications just to undermine the progress or the speedy trial of the issue. So I'm very happy that the Supreme Court reached that conclusion, and hopefully the applicant in the first place, that is the Board of Governors, will comply by the orders or will comply with the orders of the Supreme Court and file their statement of case for the case to take a concrete course towards conclusion. So yeah, I'm happy with the outcome. Our case has been solid with or without the intervention or submissions of the defendants. The point is that at this point we are not clear what arguments they may raise, and it might compel us to address certain issues they raise in their statement of case. But for now, I think our team of lawyers did a very good work with our statement of case. And irrespective of the arguments they raise in their statement of case, if they are so minded to, I'm confident we still have a high chance of succeeding. So we await what they say and to...
Yentu ansabne so ewa hafumantemu eyebechemu kopiemu ewa honoma enei penyini kwanhwe for hwengu machia ho nsem so ewo bechem eyon munyamfo Abraham akasa edi ato abontene se yade a yenuan momu betwe eye BC ene wasinina eba besha ase no de wo hye eye Ghana ene awofo nyina ebose eyade amofra ene achechefo mo wo eye ahafomantemu entity a yade wo mo afemu ewo sukuu sahoduo mu no wonji ndi se mofra no bekwa akotwere ntohwe na aba begu eye achechefo wo honom enimu asesanse yade achechefo na ankasa mu afantitiem ne yade achechefo no nso de mofra no afantitiem nti onde owogidie omofra no se wo mo kotwere nyina obia ebetwa kamakama
etro ye hwe ni mu se nkwale kotwere exams no on betro no ma pass yi esanse obibia ye friend best practice here adia oya eye ama school to me kokan e wo homa suamu me directors ni na afa entity mu a me say obia sabi obia ye sa best practice na ya practice ni na e wo ye school mu ibi ni say meet your candidate wo a wo ye director no ubenya bre akọ grassroots na mo ni teacher fo a tebi o ma do so ko wa di suamu a ebinim kwa ye chief examiners ebinim so ye examiners a omo tumi mark examination script sa fo ni na ye tumi ekukuru omo a omne kwala na fa entitie mu fa disua mu new subject subject for ka no ye practice for no e kwala ni bi wo ho a no mu nim how am answer question no e be am say bi adada na ye na se adada no de ye jesi ofoforo na aba no e say nya mu tete how to answer question obre no nim ade no but no nim tete ani kwala na fa mi gidi say kwala na extra exams na obetumi afi tete ani for man so betro BC no o ma fim pa these are one example of the best practices me gidi say kwala betumi extra exams na o mo fa apobia enhye mo esa say the issue no e de akukuduro amankwala na they can write the exams without any foreign material. It will be the Kolan there, almost some the past now.
O share yen basic level na a church for a wohono. In fact, on Juma die eso ani na ekon kan. Enti bibi ti say responsibility allowance. O share wona owo SHS no, omo ye HOD ni ade eninya bi for masters. But at the basic level, day nursery, kindergarten ni ade no, responsibility hwe set teacher ni akọ school na o te abofra janan enso we mu nyina ye ade a teacher for no ye free of charge aban tua ho hwe nti sa aban no betwe nani ahwe responsibility allowances bi obetumi provided to such level no ebeboa yen ebio textbooks ya ka curriculum no dey implement ye guso badodo na no akade no eni ho besi nei schools ni bi da so use chalk entwa ye computer samui ya nkola na ya bere ombi okọ SHS a ya ma kola bia tablet na teacher for na e kire no so omo ye den enti sa ban no betwa na ni ahwe teacher for in terms of topping up digital technology no na senka ye nyina ya ma mafrey na nka ye de bi nso ama teacher for no na aboa e wa kire na adesua enhyehye ye ni mu
ukopie mu ewo ashaman ewo nkran pumpini mantema ene wo hina o hene foforo ye de nesi akunya so se ashaman hene eye ni anan eye amwen ajo the third na wakasa ede ato abontene so besere se eye ashaman adehie ene NDC amanuko die enka wokra na esere na esanse efiti mfe bebre ni ena watai eye NDC amanuko no ekiden so upe eye kura mpuntunuma enkoso wo hon baako a ashaman ina edikan nti obesere se aban no enhwe no meye mpuntunuma kakra wo hon emfama adehie omwo eye ashaman esanse ashaman eni NDC amanuko die omokonda esere nti obesere mpenifo.
The message is very simple. A lot of people are coming from all corners of this country. But Ashama has set rules and regulations. You all have to obey it and live in Ashama peacefully. That's the message I want to give the people of Ashama. Ashama is far behind. Over the years, Ashama has committed over 100% to the NDC government. But we have never seen such development. So we are hoping, praying that the political parties will come to Ashama to fix our rules. If the rules are better, everybody will feel comfortable. So we are appealing to political parties. Ashaman has everybody across West Africa. They should come to our aid, fix our rules, have proper development of the people.
Ashama is a sub-stool to the primary stool. Just like Zenu, Ajekojo, Klangon, Sasabi and the like. So Ashama is a sub-stool under the primary stool. So they went on their own way to install a chief, which is an affront to our custom. So we nullified everything, but by virtue of the fact that he is very competent, we saw it wise to straighten the rough edges and allow it to continue. So we stripped in all the titles and did the proper thing. We installed him, we confined him, and properly perform all the customary rights. All those who matter, who didn't take part, now came to matter. They join in the instrument. So I'm calling on all sorts of people, rally behind him and see for the development and progress of Ashama.
Chieftaincy law gives the authority to the appropriate families to perform the appropriate traditional rites to install a chief. A chief has been installed in Ashaman. We acknowledge and we know that the various traditional roles have been played. And therefore, it is for us to unite together and then move Ashama to the next level.
Ashama Eda. Oba pomodake oba to lumo kokro me wo fitehi. Yo. Oba to lumo kokro me wo fitehi. Wo sumo ni amoko che we bi abakake amena no ni yano. Wo sumo na bo che we bi akake amena no ni yano. Ahunu college wo da che we bi nwa abakake amena no ni yano. Wo to woni mo fe mo ana no ni yo kami na ye yo koni mise abashama. Kashama fitepe tema efite ame sumo na kan. Nwesa no bobode no kwe no misa akesa.
Endrada edebeto abontini se okopie mu ewo Mother and Child Hospital ewo Wutu Senior East mensini mu eya dia ye opemfo a wokwa awo so ato anananum ewo nse edu nyina ene se osusu se eye anesefo na afenso midwives a ewo honum no anye wonjuma eyi eno nanam so ama ene mensini krachi a wo Wutu Senior East eyo nmunyamfo set eye saba se wonu ba wini akasa ede ato abontene se ya de obema hwe ama ehihwemu wodi hihwemu egu akwam because entumi nkoba se obi ebekwa awards na womba enenya ade nso a wei ene dikan ya de ato aso ewo Mother and Child Hospital hono mainti no ya de omunye na ebebo ama hihwemu akoso ewo ho.
It is a sad story to hear, and it's a difficult one to hear both mother and child, passing out. We want to say that things will be well. Things will be well. We want to use the opportunity to call for calmness and to also reassure the public and the constituents of Wutu Senior East to have confidence in our healthcare system. Those that are even on admission or receiving any form of medical attention at the facility to still remain calm as we act swiftly. One thing we have assured the family is that a team of inquiry has already been constituted. We will follow this matter to make sure that whoever that had to do something that ought to do and did not do, or overdid, or did not do at all, these persons must be brought to book. We have reassured the family of our support to the family up until everything settles, and to also continue to engage them. And also, as and when the committee would want to invite them for interrogations and all that, we've urged them to cooperate with them so that we can come to a very concluding fact of the issues. We just want to say that everyone living in the Wutu Senior East should be rest assured that our healthcare delivery is on course, and we would not sit on this particular matter. These stories are becoming one too many with the mother and child.
Yanto ansemi so ewo Buno East Regional Kopiemu ewo honoma eye Abrefi Women and Children's Hospital eye adwumayefo ewo honom enso de omade srede to abanyenim so ohia moa pa esan se akade ebemu mudwumadie se eye apomudin adwumayefo adimu no enya de omunya sa akade ni ntie eye na brebia no omom ho ekire wo ewo ayaresabia ho nti ohia moa ede free aban ena afenso ankrankra nyumeku akakra ewo wonsem eho.
And we have here is inadequate infrastructure. As you can see, there is supposed to be a primary hospital. A primary hospital should have all the basic units of a primary hospital. But because of the inadequacy of infrastructure, even if we want to introduce certain units, we are unable. So when they come to work, they hang around. Yeah, we don't have X-ray department. Yeah, because the infrastructure cannot support or cannot provide space for all the required units. In fact, we don't have anything that makes us mobile. we don't have any vehicle, not even a motorbike. So a hospital operating without a duty vehicle, and we don't have ambulance. So these are major challenges, and it hampers our service delivery. If there is a benevolent organization or even the government, we are humbly appealing to the government to come to our aid.
If you look at our vital area, you can see that we've made some improvised where we are taking our vitals and other things. Yes, these places are supposed to be a waiting area for the clients, but because of space, we needed to create these things over there so that at least we can have a space to work. When you see even the medical records, it's the same thing. It was supposed to be a place for a waiting area, but we've created it for where we take, all the medical records. And so these are some of the places that the facilities have created, and it's causing a problem for us. The spaces are not available for us to do our work, and it is causing an effect in the work that we are doing. So there's a challenge here, but at least we can't say because there's a challenge here, we cannot also work. So we have to do our best to create space for those that we need to. So that is why you can see that we've made a whole lot of,
Yentu ansem ne so ewa amahodo so ensemu piti se nipa bonfo bi koto de hye eye mali so no eno anam so amene okopie mu ewo Burkina Faso a empanifo honom so de nhye pegu akwam amomo bambo ho nsem no omo ayiri mu din pa esanso omo so se omo ni mu da omo beda besori no obi abeto ahye won so.
It also called on people to report any suspicious behavior, particularly around sensitive infrastructure such as military barracks, airports, administrative buildings and other installations of national importance. The measures come after unprecedented militant and Tuareg rebel attacks in Mali, which, like Burkina Faso and their Sahel ally Niger, is also run by the military. The three countries have faced repeated attacks from Al-Qaeda and Islamic State-linked extremists for the last decade. Niger's junta on Wednesday cancelled its traditional...
Nene ukopiemu ewo Libya, Algeria, and Afenso Tunisia, ya dia mpenifo eda eyama na maimi ensen ede wonsan ASHANTI ase apamase se ene eye Sahara eye apifa water no nyina behwe na wache.
Of strengthening coordination and exchanges to ensure the sustainable use of the non-renewable resource. The Northwestern Sahara aquifer system is one of the world's largest groundwater reserves and has been exploited for centuries. The challenges facing our water resources, whether related to climate change or rising demand, require us to redouble our efforts and strengthen coordination and integration among ourselves. The mechanism is also intended to prevent pollution and over-exploitation of the water, with management and monitoring to be carried out jointly by the three countries. There are challenges posed by water scarcity, the degradation of natural resources and climate change, which have been affecting the region for years, and grim projections indicating a decline in surface water resources by 2030. Under the mechanism agreement, each country will be allocated a quota. Launched on Wednesday, it's also intended to prevent pollution and over-exploitation of the water, which will be constantly monitored. On the basis of mathematical models, each country will be allocated a share. Water levels will be monitored, along with other risks such as pollution. Monitoring and management will be carried out jointly.
Mali akasa ediatobon say attacks no nam so ema defense minister eyon munyamfo Kamara etwa nanom ewonsi de na yade enne ya wadai ene obehwe no ayi wufu som ediamon munyamfo Kamara no akra na chiri krakra.
Died on Saturday when a car bomb targeted his home in Kati. His wife and two granddaughters were also killed. The attack was part of a two-day offensive launched by jihadist militants and Tuareg separatists against the ruling military junta and the Russian paramilitary fighters supporting it. Kamara was widely seen as the mastermind behind the junta's pivot to Russia after it cut ties with its traditional Western allies. In an address to the nation on Tuesday, junta leader Assimi Goita paid tribute to Kamara, calling him a valiant officer whose passage constable died on Saturday when a car bomb targeted his home in Kati. His wife and two granddaughters were also killed. The attack was part of a two-day offensive launched by jihadist militants and Tuareg separatists against the ruling military junta and the Russian paramilitary fighters supporting it. Kamara was widely seen as the mastermind behind the junta's pivot to Russia after it cut ties with its traditional Western allies. In an address to the nation on Tuesday, junta leader Assimi Goita paid tribute to Kamara, calling him a valiant officer whose passage constable died on Saturday when a car bomb targeted his home in Kati. His wife and two granddaughters were also killed. The attack was part of a two-day offensive launched by jihadist militants and Tuareg separatists against the ruling military junta and the Russian paramilitary fighters supporting it. Kamara was widely seen as the mastermind behind the junta's pivot to Russia after it cut ties with its traditional Western allies. In an address to the
Prime TV, YouTube, ASHANTI Prime TV, and our TikTok and say ASHANTI Prime TV. We shall no comment, so I like no share a day a mommy. And some of the best more a was media Santem Edos, ye near de Makutini B. Any Ghana Health Service on Krabatewa Santimantemu. Edinson be a trouble. Ne science so non-penny form that a National Development Planning Commission ano Ekasaye. And some men in some Audopia Canam de Besum was a prime. A real Premotobre Kasiebo, me am J penny a becking kind Kasiebo, media majeswo. And a mess now sat me from my home, I'm a mini abema, a your official cabinet Dubai, a dear good year munsem, abesumye.
Bebrene koso ewo yemmem ha enne nkofo amanso empeni se ade achi na se yanti asemfufra enne na yachi na mibiso what in ye koso social media ho be kire aba fonten ta fidie ni so woni